Good morning, students. Today we learn about the IC engines. IC engine means internal combustion engines. Those engines in which the fuel burns inside the cylinder chamber to produce amount of heat which we further use as a mechanical work in an engine. Here we having a model of 4-stroke engine. Okay, let's discuss what is 4-stroke engine. 4-stroke means an engine which covers the 4-stroke, that is suction, compression, power and exhaust in a 2 rotation of crank. That means the 720-degree rotation. Before start, we discuss the different parts of this engine. That starts with the suction part. Here we having a manifold, that is the suction manifold. This is the exhaust manifold. This suction manifold is attached with the carburetor. The function of carburetor is to mix a proper mixture of air and fuel and further supply it to the chamber, that means the cylinder chamber. This casing, this outer casing, this one, this is the cylinder part, and this one, this which is reciprocating inside a cylinder, this is known as a piston. This piston is further connected to a connecting rod, this red one. This connecting rod is further connected to a crank, this black part, this is known as a crank part. The function of this connecting rod and crank is to convert the reciprocating motion of the cylinder and piston to rotary motion, which is further converted to our vehicle. For example, we install this engine in our car and we need a rotary motion in our tires. Therefore, we need some linkage to convert a reciprocating motion into a rotary motion. Here we having two valves. This valve which is near to a suction manifold, it is known as a suction valve. A valve which is near to a exhaust manifold is known as a exhaust valve. The function of these valves is to enter a mixture inside a chamber and to remove outside the burnt gases. Here we having a flywheel which is attached to an engine. The function of this flywheel is to store extra energy which is produced during a power stroke and return that energy during another strokes. For example, in suction stroke, in compression stroke and in exhaust stroke for the movement of piston inside a cylinder. Let's start with the working of this engine. In the starting, let's suppose the piston is at the down part. This part is known as this and is known as the BDC, bottom dead center, and the upper part where it reaches the further, that is known as the TDC, the top dead center. In the starting, the piston is over here at TDC. When it starts moving downward, these valves open. As a result, a mixture of air and fuel starts entering inside a chamber, cylinder chamber, and this stroke is known as a suction stroke. Almost when this piston reaches at the BDC, these valves close. As a result, both the valves are closed and the suction stroke is completed. Then again, this piston starts moving upward towards the TDC, and this stroke is known as the compression stroke. The reason behind this stroke is we need to compress a mixture so that we get a proper pressure and temperature for the burning of the fuel. In petrol engine, we need a compression ratio of about 12 to 14 ratio, which is necessary to get a proper pressure and temperature. Almost when this piston reaches at the TDC, at the same time, we provide a spark inside the engine with the help of spark plug, which starts the burning of fuel. That is known as the combustion of fuel. When the fuel starts burning, it produces heat energy. This heat energy increase the pressure and temperature which push this piston in the downward direction. As you show, the piston is moving in the downward direction. This is known as the power stroke. This is the major stroke in any IC engine because this stroke is responsible for producing a mechanical work in the engine which we can use in our vehicle for the motion of the vehicle. The part of this energy is transferred to the tires and the remaining energy is stored by the flywheel, which we can use in another strokes. When the piston reaches at the BDC, it starts traveling again towards the TDC. In the starting, this exhaust valve opens. As a result, the burnt gases starts moving outside through this port, and this stroke is known as the exhaust stroke. Almost when this piston reaches at around 10 to 20 degree before the TDC, both the valves open at the same time. This concept is known as the valve overlapping. Now, why we use this? Why we open these two valves simultaneously? The reason is, we notice that even when the piston reaches the TDC, there is some gap over here. This is known as the clearance part. We know that the piston not moves further. That means the flue gases trap over here. If we don't remove these flue gases, then the volumetric efficiency of the cylinder reduces. Therefore, we need to open these two valves simultaneously. As a result, when these two valves open, the mixture which enters from this side, it pushes the burnt gases outside through the exhaust port. That's all. It is the working of 4-stroke engine, and this is the 4-stroke petrol engine. Thank you.